are now watching the captain.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Captain Diesel's Dojo. Come on, Mike, can our camera get in the focus, please? It's not Whopper will be today. Jesus said no. Yeah, literally. This fight be back. Skynam's here. Is Captain Diesel of Captain Diesel's Dojo, and I am back with a very, very special guest. Apparently my twin brother, apparently, according to comment sections. Y'all are hilarious. Bald dudes with beards, man. We just all happen to look alike. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'll make the rules.
We have Blerd Without Fear, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, man? You gave me, I asked this question before we started, and you gave me a crazy answer. I don't know if you want to, reveal that.
I won't, I won't make it as dead. I won't be as deadpan about it as before, but yeah, no, I'm good. Near death experience aside, make sure when you're out in the world, and especially in what I would say is heat advisory level weather, make sure you stay hydrated, and also that you don't do anything that will cause you to have a panic attack while you are potentially having a heat stroke while you are swimming. It's a recipe for disaster. I don't recommend it.
That didn't insane.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, we'll get sorry. At this point, I'm gonna have to edit this out. Yeah, y'all, we're here to discuss Bloodhunt. Ernie has been amazing and been a great colleague and a friend, and doing me the justice of coming on throughout this run and discussing the tie-ins with me. A lot of those were kind of lackluster, so we ended up just kind of talking shit and kind of talking about whatever else. But now that the official run issues 1 through 5 are officially out, everybody's read them for the most part. I've read them, he's read them. We're just going to speak on the story in general and kind of the pros and cons and what things could have been done better. First off, what was your general feeling of Bloodhunt now that it's over with?
Man, it's tough because I liked it, but I feel like the way that it ended, it left me a little cold. In so much as that, okay, yeah, cool. Doctor Doom stuff, Doctor Doom shenanigans. I love Doctor Doom, so yeah, it is what it is. I'll take that. But the whole thing, using a crossover event that is so all about propping up Blade, only to turn around and use it as a stealth Doctor Doom glow up, I was kind of this is kind of nasty. It's kind of nasty. I don't know if I appreciate that. I don't know if I appreciate it.
When you got all the news about how Mahershala Ali is not accepting certain scripts, it's yeah, we're not going to make Blade a B story in his own movie. This is what happened here. It's going to be very
100%.
gassing them up, and Blade's intimidating, and a lot of the art he's cool, and then they just sneak in at the end yeah, also Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme now.
Yeah. Well, I'll throw you one better than that. I'm gonna throw you one better than that because see, I'm gonna tell you how nasty it is. Yeah, you didn't do it justice. Not only is he Sorcerer Supreme, but we don't even know what happens to Blade unless you read one of the tie-ins. I was so we just go, so Blade got stabbed. So we just ain't gonna talk about Blade no more for the rest of this issue. We just go stay on Doom. Okay, all right.
They did that. Didn't it feel like they were setting up some other stuff with Dracula, where now all the vampires are daywalkers now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that would have been a cool thing to to throw in at the end, and not just you could. I don't know, man. I feel
and Miles is still a vampire.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what that looks like. You have spider powers, vampire powers, and now you have an electro sword. Now you just, if he's not different enough from Peter Parker, now y'all got it. He's literally as different as can be. You don't have to be the Spider-Man anymore. Jesus Christ.
It's look, not like, because you couldn't just say, oh, he's Spider-Man with electricity powers, and because like, yeah, he's got the electricity powers, he's got the stealth camouflage, he's got the electric sword, he can do the electric slide, and now he's a vampire. Okay, and he's a daywalker too. Okay, all right, fine, whatever. That's not, you know,
make him special. Give him
you know, this is something I didn't think about, and just talking to you right now made me think about it. I didn't even think about this when I was preparing my video to talk about this. I guess we just said to hell with Brielle Brooks, because now, like, she ain't special. Like, she's even less special now, because vampires, even regular vampires, can walk around in sunlight. And so that's not just Blade that has now been made like it's just taking the specialness from him. It's taken away from Brielle too, which is just wild to me.
Bro, I think, what video was it? I don't know if it was the issue 4 review I did, where my big thing with this run, I was like, I don't need a lot from this run, but one of the few things I need is for Brielle to have a big part in this story. We're making a story where her father is evil and you're including her in that story. And then you're also doing your due diligence in like saying that she's the only one that can defeat him, which also is some bullshit at the end. That just was not factual at all.
No.
So you just brought her along this story, had her go through this whole adventure with Dracula and go through all these visions and things just for her to, one, need Miles to save the day still. Like, hey, you gotta have a man around to save the day. It's crazy. So that prophecy was fake. And then
no girl bossing here. No girl
also
bossing.
Annoying me. I would have been cool with it if they did like a maybe, because I could understand in regards to in including Miles in that to gain more popularity with her just for the fact that he's a hot commodity now with the movies and everything going up. Everybody loves Miles. So if they would have spun this off into a Miles and Brielle like duo series, cool. People probably would have read that. That could have helped prop her up more and get more people to look at her. But then you put her on this, she's on like a teen team now or something. She's on some other team coming out, I guess.
I don't remember the full details, but
I'm just like, so you just like throwing her back in the bin now, or we're just like letting her sit in the back and letting her cook.
Yeah, I don't like it. I would prefer she stay on her own. I think she needs. I don't know. You know what? I tell you what. If it's a situation, I don't know the full and total detail of it. But if it's a situation where we're talking like, let's say, I'll just throw a random one out here. If we're talking about like, oh, she's on the new Champions or the new Young Avengers, I'm like, okay, cool. But if it's some like no name team, or they're sending her like, well, I tell you what, I take it back. If it's Strange Academy, I might roll with it. But like, if it's some no name folks, I don't want it. She deserves better than that. She deserves nice things. I want her to have nice things.
Yeah, she's too dope of a character to not be on some dope new team.
Oh no, 100%.
Because I understand that you can't just give her a super, like, she already has her solo like introductory series. And I understand she's probably not popular enough to carry a solo series. I understand that. But damn, like, put her, dude. It goes into the rut that I think Marvel and to the same extent DC is in, to where they are just like on their knees to all the old guard when it comes to like Batman, Superman, we just gonna gawk it all day because we don't want to take risks with these new people. And I was going to take a slight tangent here. I put out a video recently on the Acolyte show.
Yeah.
Tweets on it. I don't know if you said it. I was unhinged for like a week because I was seeing a lot of conservative right-wing Twitter get off a lot of nasty narratives. But one of the main things that I had about this show that I can acknowledge that the show is very bad in a lot of instances. It has a lot of issues with it. It has a lot of things that aren't consistent with the overall narrative. But one thing this show and a lot of the newer Star Wars shows are doing to their credit, I will give them this. They're introducing new stories, new people for the next generation, and to an extent for the people that are like fans of the old stuff, to try to like give you something new and not just give you the same story regurgitated. DC, right. It's like DC and Marvel, it's like we're going to give you a taste of something new, but we're still going to throw in something you're familiar with just to make sure we're bringing in that money. We need that money.
Yeah, they're gonna pull it
like
back.
that kills me. It could do that.
Well, yeah, I put out a video today talking about this to a lesser extent, but Absolute Power, the Absolute Power series that's running right now, which I have been enjoying so far a lot. They did something this week that I was like, man, finally somebody's putting some respect on Dick Grayson's name. Like it took a while, but y'all finally getting there. Like, because they had the whole thing with Dark Crisis. They're like, oh hey, dude, the Justice League, they up out of here. They up out of here, man. We kicked them to the curb. It's the Titans now, baby, all day. Titans all day, and then crickets. And I mean, yeah, the Titans got a book. Yes, Cyborg got a solo joint. Yes, Nightwing has a book. But I mean, they didn't do for the Titans what they normally do for the Justice League. Like, I literally saw just the other day, DC put out a press release about, hey, we're bringing the Justice League back. And man, but they haven't had a book. And like, they literally says that their actual words, there hasn't been a Justice League book in since Justice League number 75 over 2 years ago. 2 years? Really? Y'all gonna act like 2 years is a long time? Really? They may as well have never left.
This is what the numbers were like. I'm like, how much money were you losing to pay that much?
I
to hit that, to break that glass, were you losing just that much money to where, okay, we have to make money now, we got to go back, or were you just scared?
Well, it's the, because it was supposed to be the whole Dawn of DC. Hey, we're bringing in these new heroes, and yet somehow I'm still seeing the same old heroes. I'm seeing the same old heroes. Like, I ain't seen nothing new. Y'all ain't gave me nothing new. Like, I think they did like 2 or 3 new books, and those books have quietly disappeared into the ether. They're gone. They're up out of here. I'm not gonna lie. Marvel and DC both upset me sometimes because, yeah, you promise me something, but you don't ever deliver. You'll never deliver. Like, it's
they'll give you the tip. They can give you the whole shaft. They'll give you the tip though.
Oh yeah, no, you get the tip. Like that's matter of fact, you're not even really you get the tip of the tip. That's it. You don't even get the whole tip, just the tip of the tip, and then be like, is that good enough? And then be like, what is this? What is this? What is happening? I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. But yeah, Marvel be pissing me off some days. DC too. Like, yeah, that's why I tell folks, man. When y'all want to argue about who's better, Marvel or DC, I say neither. Neither. Vote of no confidence. No confidence.
How conversations with my guy Otis, and he's a manga guy. Like, he's like, he doesn't really read comic like that anymore. He'll keep up with stuff. I'll keep him updated on stuff, or he'll see stuff online or whatever it may be. But he prefers anime, or he prefers manga. Mm-hmm. And one thing I will give manga is that their ability to tell one concise story and not have to, I mean, to some extent you have to concede to the studio and demands and whatnot, but it doesn't ever feel like it does in some comic run, to where it's like, cool, we're telling our own story, but the editors above say we have to include this or have this happen to an extent. Because I swear to God, it feels like this story started out one way, and then halfway through, it
became something else.
Yeah, we can't really go in this direction. And I say that for the fact that, as I talked about it in the video before, where obviously the RDJ Doom stuff has been something very hot that everybody's been talking about and have their own opinions on, which we can discuss in a little bit here. But it's very interesting that news comes out, and then not even, 2-3 weeks later, issue 5 comes out, and now Doom Sorcerer Supreme, and it's announced.
And it wasn't even that long. It was literally like the week after, like the week of, right. Actually.
Like, come on, you're not telling me that was a coincidence. Like, you planned this shit out.
Yeah, no, this was
just. It felt like they were like, okay, how do we build up more hype for Doom? Okay, cool. Let's coincide the comics with the movie some more, and we'll just throw him in this story. Like, he's in it already. We'll just throw him in this and give him a power boost.
No, that's 100%.
Mouse just like, I'm not saying the Mouse, because I don't know how much control Disney has over the comic area of Marvel, but
no,
like
I don't think they have any.
Like, I was like, oh my God, that irked me so fucking bad. If I got what I wanted with Brio, I would have been happy. But like, you didn't give me anything I wanted out of the story. Maybe it's just me, and I'm biased in regards to what my expectations were. It didn't help that for me. Like, I read it and found out and got introduced to Brio like I think a month maybe before Bloodhunt came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh shit, a brand new character. She's dope. And then she's in this brand new dope story. Cool. And then she is like a C-list character to her dad's B-list character in the story. That's about vampires.
Yeah, it's funny too because when they would do the Dracula Bloodhunt tie-in issues, I was like, okay. I was like, these are good. But then you get back to the main Bloodhunt story, and she would be back of the bus like a muff. I was like, oh no. I was like, no, we're not doing this.
Running away, or she just like not doing shit.
Mm-hmm. Or she needs. Well, it's sad because on paper, I think Bloodhunt should have been the best comic event of the last few years. Like this should have been Bloodhunt on paper. Should have been up there with some of the greatest Marvel Comics crossover events in recent memory. Like the way that they hyped it up, the pedigree of the people they had working on the story, like the way Marvel was pitching this and making trailers and all this other crazy stuff. You would have thought they had the next Secret Wars on their hands, and then you get there and it's just like, I mean, it's not even that it's not even that it's like that it's bad. It's like I remember the same thing I told somebody the other day. It is dutiful missionary. That is what it is. It's dutiful missionary. Like you just, it's like, hey, look, it's like, hey, look, yeah, the fans are ovulating here. Let's just go ahead and give them a few pumps and let's go and get out, move on. Just enough to get it go. But I mean, that's what it is. That's what it was. And
I think that I know most about that it started off so strong. It started off so.
Well, and this is the thing I try and warn people about. I try and warn people about this stuff all the time. If an event starts off cold, it is not going to. I'm not saying it won't end cold, but the chances of it are low. And if an event starts off kind of whack, it might get better. Like matter of fact, prime example, because that's exactly how I felt about Dark Crisis. I thought Dark Crisis started off like a wet fart. I was like, I don't care about this. But as the book kept going, I was like, oh, this is actually getting better. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, this is way better than what it started, and it ended pretty damn good. And I feel like that was the polar opposite of Bloodhunt started off lit. It started off with all the right stuff, and then it just started going from sugar to shit. And yeah, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, they fumbled.
So
they fumbled.
Is there like I was curious about this. I'm not as knowledgeable on the internal metrics of how many pages a comic should have, but it felt like, I think it could have been better to me if that ending would have been like maybe 3 or 4 more pages long. It felt like they rushed because I looked at Thor getting his powers back. Then I blink and now Brielle's here stabbing him in the chest, and I blink and Miles is there, and then I blink and Doom's there. I feel like that final battle should have been more of a final battle. It felt like it went back really fucking fast. No,
it did. As a matter of fact, because I'm looking at it now, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, wow. Okay. 29, 30. They actually gave, okay, so here's what they did. They gave a solid 30 pages, which that's actually huge for a single issue of a comic. However, I think they could have cut. There's some pages I need to see. There were some things they could have left up out of here. Like I didn't need to. Like I love Moon Knight. I'm a huge fan of Jed MacKay's Moon Knight. They could have kept some of the Moon Knight pages.
They could have kept out the 3 cuts to Doom that we had. We had like 3 cuts to Doom at the start, middle, and end of the story.
Talking shit. Just talking shit. That's all he was doing. I kind of wish, they, like, honestly, all that shit should have been at the beginning. Maybe move some other stuff around, or I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if Jed MacKay has that kind of stroke like Jonathan Hickman does, But I know, like, whenever Hickman's on the book, that motherfucker is like Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings. You get in a 3-hour issue. You get an issue, you're going to take 3 hours to get through. And I feel like they weren't doing that for this book. I feel like each issue should have been an oversized issue. Because generally speaking, a single issue of a comic is usually anywhere between like 18 to 22 pages, usually somewhere in that neighborhood. And you usually get like anywhere between 28 to 32 on like either a first or last issue. Usually first issue is almost always somewhere close to 32 pages. And if there's a final issue, you usually get kind of the same. But I feel like, well, even though they did have a pretty high page count, maybe a couple more pages honestly would not have hurt. You just to flesh some stuff out. Maybe I'm trying to think, did they do I don't think they did a big splash page. I don't think we got a big splash page.
I think, funny enough, I think that page may have been Moon Knight coming back with the army.
Yeah, it's so like basically, yeah, as I'm looking at it now, there was no traditional splash page. I feel like we probably, if you would have given at least a splash page or maybe added a couple of extra pages just to kind of maybe give us a little more of a final conflict, because I mean that, and also maybe even just to explain. I mean, obviously, yeah, I know we're getting the Brian Hill series in October, so, you know, there'll be a little 5-parter there. But the fact that Blade was supposed to be, like, the central character, and he just gets pieced up like that, and then, or rather, Varney gets pieced up like that, and then we don't even see Blade on any meaningful level for the rest of that. Like, I think that's like 4 or 5 more pages after that, and you don't see him again. Like, and then
being like on
yeah, they say, oh, stabilize him, we got to stabilize him. And then like, and I'm gonna paint a picture for you. If you don't read Midnight Suns Bloodhunt #3, you have no idea what is happening to Blade. Like, there is no knowledge. There's nothing. There's no hint. There's no tease. No nothing that's given. You have to have read one of the tie-ins to know where he went. And it's not even. And this thing kind of pisses me off here as well. It's a tie-in that, while yes, it is good, it is entertaining, it really, outside of the second issue, that has Blade in it, and the first issue that kind of gives a hint that Blade isn't himself. Outside of that, man, that comic ain't got shit to do with Blade. I mean, yeah, it's Midnight Suns, obviously, but still, like, it ain't doing what it needed to do.
And what pisses me off even more, I think it was Bloodhunt. I think it was Midnight Suns issue #1, I believe, where he is in a diner with the group. Mm-hmm. Because they do little shit like they're showing him like killing everybody. Or I think even before, after he killed all the group members, he's shedding a tear. Mm-hmm. So like you see him here, like either fighting, like you see him there, but that's never like touched on again for the rest of the entire run. I'm like, why would you these tidbits of like death, but then never go back to him ever again?
No, they don't play on. Basically, like, it's one of those things. Like, if the only place it is ever addressed again is just in passing in other issues of Bloodhunt, like where they'll be like, oh, Blade's not himself, or oh, I don't think that's Blade, or oh, there's somewhere in his face, whatever, da 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 da. But like beyond that, they don't ever actually address, like, outside of like, I think in issue 4 when they just say, oh yeah, this ain't Blade, that's the most you get out of it. They don't tell you how it happened. They don't tell you how, and I think that's actually the thing that's the most egregious part. Because I remember that Blade series from the 90s. I remember when Varney tried to take over his body the first time, and it was unsuccessful. They never tell you how he took over Blade's body this time. It's just something that you are just supposed to say, I don't know, man. Just go with it, man. Just go with it. We don't know. They don't tell you whether it's the. Yeah, no, they don't tell you if it's one of those deals where, oh, the original ritual actually worked, but like it just took a long time for it to kick in, or if there was a completely separate ritual. And they kind of imply that there was a separate ritual, but they don't really directly tell you. So it's like, so my whole thing is, you know what, you can turn Blade into a bad guy, you can totally have him be possessed. But if you don't tell me why or how this happened, you just want me to figure it out for myself. That part, I'm not gonna lie, is kind of shitty. It's kind of, I even kind of, it just is. Like, just tell me.
Dr. K organized, shout out to her and her channel. She let me know. I don't know if it was I think it was a recent Blade run where it's the run where he drank Dracula's blood. Apparently, like that was the thing that made it possible, because at that point now he's a perfect vessel because he has the blood of I guess Dracula.
He has the blood of Dracula.
Yeah, he like purified him somehow, and that way it made it possible. Yeah. But they never go back to
it's like,
when that happened, or like when they're
right. Well, and that's my issue. That's my because when this whole thing happened, there were three things. It was that. It was him holding onto the Lightbringer sword, because that also opened him up to demonic possession. And then you also, on top of that, drinking Dracula's blood. You have those two things, and then you also have in the Bloodline comic, where Deacon Frost performed a ritual on him, one that also did not work. But the thing is, they never tell you, okay, well, is it any one of these three things? They just say, no, just it's a random thing that happened. It's like, okay, look, at some point, what you should have done in that fourth issue, while you are explaining, or having Varde give the exposition as to how it, or not even how it happened, just in passing mentioning how it happened, maybe you should show us something, maybe, or have one of these tie-ins actually tell us. Now, I know what's probably going to happen. We're probably going to get this information in the Brian Hill Blade series that's coming up in October. That's probably when it's going to come up. But I think it is, I don't know. I feel like that's a choice. Like, that's a choice to withhold that information for another series that comes out months after. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. They think that they're like, oh, yeah. I can say right now, this is the Marvel boardroom when they're talking to the show. They're like, oh, yeah, that's what we do. So what we do is we're going to hold this part of the story. And even though this event is going to end in July, we're going to wait till October to tell them. Oh, man, that's brilliant. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's go with that. But here's the reality. Anyone who gives a shit will not care by the time October comes around. They will not care. They might not even remember.
It's out of my mind.
Yeah, it's like they're not even going to remember. They're not even going to remember. You're going to have to waste an issue of that comic going back over the shit. Or they're hoping that people like myself will do the heavy lifting for them. And I think that's what Marvel has gotten. I think the comics industry, the big two, I think they've gotten real comfortable thinking like, oh, well, Blerd Without Fear, comics explain, dope spill, something. They're going to explain it. They'll give them the background. We don't have to do it.
This is one hot take, and this is the issue with the comic industry as well as like the movie industry with the MCU. And I'm me being a content creator, I'm part of the problem. I feel like a lot of the issues that we've had with this content, a lot of it stems from content creators. I'm not gonna hold you.
No, it is. You're right.
I say that for the fact that when I look at something like a new Rockstars, where a day or 2 days before Deadpool 3 comes out, they've already posted a video where they've dissected the entire story and had the ability to tell you the entire plot of the entire movie before it comes out and all the cameos. The speculation videos are cool because it just builds hype for it. But for the fact you literally confirmed what cameos, like what's going to happen, now when I go watch the movie or people go watch it, they're already going in with a preconceived idea of what things are going to be, and either it's going to hold up to that expectation or not. Or people will see that pre-recorded video about their review for the movie, even though they haven't seen it yet, or their thoughts on it. Or they'll just, oh, I hated it because it was blah, 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 blah. Or they had this person in it already. And that's the main issue. I think people there's no mystique anymore when it comes to content.
No.
It's just,
nope.
Same thing like when you look at like musicians and like, there will never be like a true pop star anymore. When you look at like a Michael Jackson, the thing that made him so amazing is that you didn't know shit about Mike's personal life and you never really saw him outside of big events or whatever else. So when you see him on
everybody had legends. Yeah. Everybody has legends. There was no like Prince, Michael Jackson. You could even say like probably one of the last ones was like Marilyn Manson. There's like people whose fame was so great that people made up stories about them because they didn't know anything about them. And those stories, like, it turned them into a larger than life entity. The Beatles, you'll still have fans like falling out in the streets and like getting drugged by cars. But like you won't, there was a mystique around the Beatles that even though they were well known, no one really knew anything about them either unless they shared it. But nowadays, I agree 110 million% honestly that yes, content creators are a lot of the problem. I admit to even being a part of the problem. But like the thing is, it's people, and I've said this a lot of times. Whenever somebody goes, when a new MCU movie comes out, DCEU movie, whatever, any kind of like major franchise movie comes out, people always come out and they're always like, it wasn't what I expected it to be. And the thing is, when they say stuff like that, I know exactly what they mean. I know exactly what they're trying to say without saying it. It's because, these motherfuckers aren't as popular anymore, but they're also part of the problem. It's some websites like We Got This Covered and all those other like kind of like leaker sites and stuff like that. They all put out this information saying, oh, so and so, like when the what was it, Multiverse of Madness? Perfect example.
Superior.
Every last. Oh, dude, let me tell you a story real quick. I'll be very fast, I promise. I remember so many people believing New Rock Stars, believing We Got This Covered, believing all these other dumbass websites saying that, oh, you see that right there? That's Tom Cruise, whole black woman. And I literally was saying it. I think I was one of the few people saying this on social media. I was telling people, I was like, that is not Tom Cruise. I was like, that is literally Lashana Lynch. Like, that is, I was like, that's not, this isn't who you think it is. And then there were people who were literally telling me, well, nah, man, New Rockstar said, or We Got This cup. No, I saw this. Look, all right, and I told people, I said, all right, I tell you what. I pinned the post to the top of my Twitter page and said, all right, so when this movie comes out, I want all y'all motherfuckers that are sitting here trying to tell me right now that I'm wrong, that this is not Tom Cruise. I want you all to come back here, and I want you to give me my damn flowers when y'all see this a whole black woman. And there was a lot of motherfuckers that were staying real quiet. Because people get to expecting something because they saw it on the internet, and when they go to the movie, like when No Way Home came out, and it was like, oh man, so and so's gonna be in No Way Home. Oh man, so and so's gonna be in No Way Home. And yeah, some of the ones they were actually there, but a lot of the other stuff that people said was gonna be there was not there. Like people said, oh man, Venom, we're actually gonna see Venom. Venom's actually gonna be in the movie and doing stuff. No, he was not. I mean, he was, but not in the way y'all thought.
Right.
And it didn't meet everybody's expectations, so therefore, since the movie's not meeting their preconceived expectations based on bullshit, unfounded bullshit, now the movie is trash, or the comic is trash, the TV show is trash, because you read something, and like a dumbass, you believed it, and now you're not blaming the people who fed you the bullshit. You're blaming the people who made the thing because it didn't fit, what you wanted because you believe a lie. That's the stuff that pisses me off. That's the stuff that pisses me.
It's a combination of that and a lot of the people who have this thing to where they want a story to be told how they want it to be told. They want the story that somebody's telling to be told in the exact way they want it to be told. I want this character to act this way. I want this story to be told. And that leads.
I know the story better than you do.
Right. I want to transition to the Dr. Doom stuff. That's a big conversation piece I've had.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's talk some shit.
For anybody that isn't aware at this point, our Robert Downey Jr. has been revealed to be Dr. Doom in the next phase of the MCU going forward. I had a joke with my homegirl. I was like, bro, I could see him in like and Chris Evans coming back. She's like, they're not coming back. I think the only thing that RDJ had been confirmed to do was like be like the Jarvis for the Ironheart in the movie. Like he said he would come back and do that and like be her AI voice. But I'm like, bro, Buddy just got Oscar. He didn't want that Disney money. He ain't turning down that mouse money.
Oh,
lo and behold, he goes back to the note of $87 million. Yeah, he got paid. They were like, I guarantee what happened. They were like, and granted, I understand this to an extent because you have Chadwick Boseman who dies, which I think they were going to prop him up to be like at the forefront of this, and he passes away without them really being prepared for it. Jonathan Majors has the situation he had going on, and that like they got it. So now you got two of your frontline men that you had planned out that you were taking a chance on are not here. It's like, fuck, what do we do? RDJ,
bring him back.
Come on back, bro. Come on, bro. Because we got to make sure we this has to land. This has to land. And I think they did that shit out of like, okay, we need guaranteed money right now because we've been taking too many flops and too many hits.
It's a desperation move. It's a desperation move, 100%. It's a desperation move. And you know what? Honestly, I feel like it's a bad desperation move. I feel it's a bad desperation move because I feel like they're not, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Man, look. You have this entire war chest full of superheroes. You've got so many that could be bankable household names. And yet here we are. I mean, granted, yes, we got it's technically an actor as opposed to an actual like IP, but
right. Yeah,
but it's still you're still trading on the fact that this guy used to be Iron Man. You're still like that's half of the mystique of this stunt casting is that he used to be Iron Man and now he's not. He's Dr. Doom now, and it's got people like in a tizzy because they don't know how to accept that one actor is playing two different characters, despite the fact that it's not the first time we've even seen this in the MCU. I mean. Was it Gemma Chan has literally played two different characters in the MCU. She was Cersei in Eternals, and she was Dr. Minerva in Captain Marvel. I know people have made the jokes about.
I don't think people really care.
They don't want to think. Well, they don't want to think about that. They don't want to think about that. But even then, you got Thanos. You got Josh Brolin as Thanos. He's played Cable. And he's played Cable. And I think there's actually a couple of other actors that have actually played different roles in the MCU. But it just just because he played, I mean, I don't even care about the fact that he played Iron Man. I'm just like, man, I don't see why we got to bring this dude back. Like, I think y'all can get the hit without that. You just need to like
can. It's as deep as they are. I feel like they're at a point now. So I will say it wouldn't have been my first choice. I will say that. But I do in my mind see the avenue of how it can be done very well and the story that they've curated thus far. Him being the thing that like shaped where the MCU went, and now we're going, at least hopefully I'm praying to God by the end of Secret Wars, this is them ushering in the new people and solidifying them. Yeah. I pray to God this isn't them just rerunning back Chris Evans and Hemsworth.
Yeah,
and Skoja.
I don't want it.
By the end of this, the Young Avengers or like Shang-Chi and all these other people you brought in, they meet you at the forefront at the end of the story. And I'm hoping that using him to come in and like in that arc, to like officially really in that arc in a lot of the stuff. Because I see a lot of how him coming back could be really, really great character moments. Like I'm imagining a scene where he's conversating with Spider-Man. And he obviously is evil at this point. He's doing fucked up shit. Or you have Ironheart talking to him, and obviously he's a big inspiration for her in the designs or whatever it may be. Like, there's a lot of things you can do in the writing aspect of it. I'm just scared they're not going to do it at all.
No, and my concern is that they're going like, here's the thing. If Robert Downey Jr. is only Dr. Doom up until Secret Wars, cool. I'll live with it. I would feel even better if he wasn't the only Dr. Doom. Like, I would much prefer if he's just one of a few different Dr. Dooms that appear over the course of it. Like, because I've said this for a long time. I would far rather prefer. I know it wouldn't have had the same pop that RDJ taking off the Dr. Doom mask would have had, but I would have rather it had been them either bringing back Julian McMahon, who played him in the original Fantastic, well, not the original because that was Roger Corman, but like the original released Fantastic Four movies because he was the one. Well, I'll say the one. Technically, he was one of the two good things about those movies. His Doctor Doom. I was like, dude, he actually gets it. He understands it. Or if you would have gotten you wasted Mads Mikkelsen in Doctor Strange. I'm sorry, he was wasted. Caecilius, really? No, that dude should have been Doctor Doom. You could have gotten, what was it, Cillian Murphy. That could have been your Doctor Doom.
Casting. I've seen everybody want so fucking bad.
Yeah.
The last 6 years,
Yeah.
I've seen all this AI art of Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy.
It's been what the fans wanted.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, but you could have done all of that. You could have done all that. But at the end of the day, what I think is more important than anything else is stop catering to them old MCU fans, because I'm telling, this is the thing I'm afraid of that's going to happen, because this is going to open the floodgates. If we bring back RDJ, we bring back Chris Evans, we bring back whoever else, I don't know who. Yeah, you bring back ScarJo, you bring back all these other people. Here's the thing. I literally just did a rundown of this yesterday on my live stream Nerds of Culture, talking about the original crop of MCU films. And I have it right here in front of me, because I took a hatch mark tally of all of the MCU movies that have been released thus far. All of them released thus far. And I had two columns. I had a good column and a bad column. And I want to make it clear, the good column and the bad column are not my personal picks. This is just public perception. Right. But before you get to Phase 4, Marvel had 12 universally beloved movies. There were 11 universally disliked movies. And in that early crop, that early Phase 1, Phase 2, that shit was really white. I'm talking
She was like Iron Man and Wind.
Like Officer White.
Officer White.
It was like, this is white. Do you hear me? It's Officer White. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the whole word white. That's what it was. But no, it was. I go back and look at Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Cap 1, Thor 1, Avengers 1. The only Negro is Nick Fury. His only Negro in the whole thing. And then you've got and there's only the one woman. I'm not counting Agent Hill. No one counts Agent Hill. She's not counted.
Also a sexual object.
Right.
Constantly seeing her cleavage or seeing her in tight ass clothes with her ass.
Right. It's I'm sorry. I just can't. And you get to Phase 2. Phase 2, I actually looked at both of those first two phases of Marvel. Each phase had 4 films that were universally disliked and only 2 films that were universally liked. Which is just wild to me. And that was the whitest phase. The only phase, and this is what I think people remember when they think about, Marvel greatness. They're all thinking about Phase 3. Phase 3 is the most lit phase of Marvel. It is almost perfect and has no bad films. It has 2 films that are just okay. But all the rest of them are actually like straight up bangers. Bangers.
Beat that list.
Bangers. So you're looking at. Oh yeah, no, I got you right here. Hold up. You're looking at well, for one, you're looking at Captain America, Civil War, and you got, what was it? Thor Ragnarok. You've got Thor Ragnarok. Black. It was. I loved it. I loved it. It's I think it's.
I'm a Hulk fan.
it's all good. But Doctor Strange was Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy 2 are probably the 2 films I thought were the ones people just were kind of on. But yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yeah. I said, yeah, Black Panther. You had Ant-Man and the Wasp. You had Avengers: Infinity War. You had Captain Marvel. You had Avengers: Endgame. Spider-Man: Far From Home. That's phase 3. I think phase 3 has the most films of any of them. Like, it has the most films of any other phase, I think, even up to this point. Yeah, every other phase so far has only had a handful of films. Phase 3 was just swinging shit out there for everybody. And I feel like people forgot because of that phase. They're like, oh, man, yeah, Marvel used to actually, like, have some misses. Like a lot. Because I don't know nobody that loves Iron Man 2. And Cap 1, Thor 1, I mean, I don't think they're personally bad, but I mean...
3 exists sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. Oh, no. And that's why, and like I said, Iron Man 3. So here, like, phase 2, Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Ant-Man and Avengers Age of Ultron. Those are 4 films that either people don't like or just don't care about. Or like they're not like losing their mind over. Like the only 2 films in phase 2 that people universally loved was Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. That was it.
And to your point,
yeah,
I attribute a lot of the narrative to Star Wars just for the fact I went down a mean rabbit hole. My inner Star Wars fandom was hidden for a little bit because I just like dived down the rabbit hole for a little bit. I wasn't aware that there is so much right-wing conservative controversy and like so many creators grifting. Creators that like when I was a little kid, I would like watch them to like get more knowledge on certain aspects of Star Wars. And when I'm getting ready to like to review the Acolyte, because I'm like, damn. Because before the Acolyte came out, I did a video where I was looking at my Star Wars wish list and things that I wanted looking forward. And most of that were the big thing was going to a different era, so you didn't have to be connected to the Skywalker era at all, and you can just do your own. And 2 is just doing new shit. So did we get a show where it's supposed to take place in the High Republic era, which is like 100 or so years. I think they said it was like
100, 150, something like that.
Something like that before the Skywalker era. I'm like, all right, cool. They can do their own fucking thing, and it's Acolytes. So we're getting into like the Rule of 2 stuff. When I saw all these creators like super grifting hard with DEI this or strong protagonist, strong black protagonist or blah, 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 because it shows nothing but like mostly brown people or green aliens. There's like, I don't think there's a white person to be seen in that show. There's like maybe like 1 or 2 white people in that show that I can remember.
Give or take. Well, yeah. Actually, matter of fact, yeah. 2. There's 2.
And that was majority of the discourse I saw. Like when people talk about the show, it was either it didn't follow Lucas canon, because there's like a sect of Star Wars fans who are like, they're either, most of them are like middle-aged white men, but most of them are white men and women. Some slight amount of women. I've seen some women that get real nasty on the grift for the cloud on Twitter, that they're like anything that isn't in tune with George Lucas and what he wanted to do initially, they're like, it's abysmal. Not remembering that episodes 1, like the prequels, were horrible for a lot of people. Like literally the only one that a lot of people are coming around to now is Revenge of the Sith, which I think is a solid one.
That's
the other 2 people are talking about them being buns outside of like one saber fighter, one character. And that's the movie with the racist fucking Jamaican race that they had in there.
Duel of the Fates. That's it. No, I was saying no. Duel of the Fates. That's it. You don't take anything else.
People were sending Hayden Christensen death threats for how bad of an actor he was, or how bad they thought he was at that moment in time.
Hell, the little boy.
You get into
the little boy that played Anakin in episode 1. They did the same thing to him.
Yes.
And Ahmed Best, the guy who played Jar Jar, he was going to kill him or unalive himself.
You talk about the original trilogy. Now you're getting into moments where like Harrison Ford is literally saying, you read your own script because this shit is trash. Like the actors in multiple occasions talked about how bad the scripting was. But for some reason, that era is a thing that we're just attributing to all the best parts of Star Wars. Which is funny because it's the white dominated era of Star Wars, where the only 2 significant black people in that were, 1 was a voice of a black man in Vader, and 2 was a dude who was who granted Lando got some love. He's like him and Sam Jackson are like the only 2 black people I've seen get some love in Star Wars. That actually have to show their black skin. for me at least,
You ain't wrong.
when I look at what is great in Star Wars, what made Star Wars great, it was the extended universe. It was the extended comic books, the novels, video games, and those things that expanded upon it. The animated series with the Clone Wars. That stuff was peak Star Wars to me, and most of it had nothing to do with George Lucas, because you let people that were fans of it, who were a little bit more knowledgeable on how people actually spoke, write that stuff. So when you get into the Acolyte and how most of the issues that people are having with it is, or at least the one where I'm seeing on Twitter and online, it's the fact, one, it's not following George Lucas canon, so that's already a thing where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll give that to you. You know, it's not following the canon of the story. I can understand the anger for that. But when you're getting into how you feel like it's, the phrase I'm hearing a lot is DEI, which for one, most of people post that on Twitter, I don't think they understand what DEI even stands for one, or two.
I know what it stands for. I know what it stands for.
People are
I know what it means when they use it. I know what it means when they use it.
Boy.
Yeah. Too many hard R's. That's what that is.
And from what I gather, like, I think they think it works like affirmative action. And even then, people don't understand how affirmative action works. They're like, well, they're just putting in here for diversity. I'm like, I don't think y'all understand, for you to get it, for affirmative action to even work with you, you have to be qualified first and foremost to be even considered for the position. And then two, it's only existing because of the unequalness that there was when this industry, or whatever the field was, that's majority predominantly white. Like, black people didn't have a way into that stuff. So people don't really understand what the fuck they're talking about in regards to that. But then on top of that, they get into all this stuff. But then we go back to the prequels and we have not the Gungan, but we have the viceroys speaking like Asian, like Japanese men. Like, like
stereotypical
Asian man accents. We have the race of Jamaican people with bad Jamaican accents. So you have all this super racist shit, but you want that to be the prime example of the stuff.
I'm gonna tell you what I see. I see, because I saw a lot of people say, "Oh man," like, because people who, they were grifting, but they were trying to do it under the auspices of trying to be like actually critical of the show itself, not like the things they don't like about it or whatever. But I saw people trying to claim, oh, it's got the worst acting. Okay, look, let's calm down about the acting of Star Wars movies. Star Wars movies, by and large, usually have some of the most ham-fisted and, like, I would dare say, like, because I've seen some actual Oscar award-winning actors turn in some of the worst performances I've ever seen in my life. And I always like to tell people, because they always say, oh, no, the original trilogy had the best acting. Everything after that's trash. And then I always like to point out to them this one scene. It's from Empire Strikes Back. And spoilers for anyone who has not watched Empire Strikes Back, but the movie is older than I am. But at the part where Luke informs Vader that Obi-Wan told him that Vader was the one who killed his father. And then Vader says, no, I am your father. And then Luke's response, no, that's impossible. Like, I was like, bro.
And keep in mind, this is not Harrison Ford. This is Mark Hamill.
This is Mark Hamill,
who is like one of the most goated voice actors of all time, and is like his resume speaks for himself.
I mean, like, look, he is so goated. No one even calls him Luke Skywalker anymore. They don't even call him Luke Skywalker anymore. That's how goated he is. They call this dude the Joker. I have seen people quicker to call him the Hobgoblin before they even think about him being Luke Skywalker sometimes. That is how much he has transcended Star Wars.
I saw him put together a better performance in a CW show than I saw him put together in that movie.
Bruh. And that's the thing. That's why I always tell people, when people say, oh, the acting in the new Star Wars movies is terrible compared to the older ones, I'm like, you're lying to yourself. You're lying. You're not being honest. Like, and honestly, even regardless whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel movies, DC movies, Fast and Furious. I don't care what the franchise is. It's always the same. People have recency bias. And I'm not even going to say, you know what? No. Scratch that from the record. They don't have recency bias. They have selective memories, is what it is. Because everyone likes to pretend, like all those people saying that, oh, new MCU is trash, but and try and make it seem like Marvel's never made a bad movie before. Meanwhile, Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 3 just sitting up here on the shelf chilling, like looking at the camera like.
I mean, you remember how people were talking about him, like all the fucking venom and vitriol people had for him.
Oh, no. I'm going to do you one better. I remember how bad folks talked about Cap 1 and Thor 1 and Iron Man 2. I remember, like, that's the thing. This is why I think people need to really calm down. I'm old enough to remember reading magazines, reading news articles online, reading comic book movie website reviews and reading message boards and shit. And there were people who were like, and I don't mean like just a few people. I mean a lot of people, like an alarming amount of people. To the point, it was debatable before Avengers 1 came out whether or not the franchise would carry on. Because so many people were like, oh, if this is what we have to look forward to in an Avengers movie, then then this isn't going to go anywhere. Like, there were people who literally said that Cap, and maybe now with the passage of time, like, kind of like, you think about the Amazing Spider-Man movies, people have softened on those movies since No Way Home came out.
That in a second. We won't talk about that. Fucking
yeah. like I remember when the movies came out, everyone's like, oh, no, this Amazing Spider-Man is trash. Man, Andrew Garfield's the worst Spider-Man ever. Now the same folks, sometimes like, man, no, they need to make Amazing Spider-Man 3. They need to put some respect on his name.
Bro.
Like, and I don't want to call names.
The amount of memes that were around the internet. That I've seen that clip of Jamie Foxx's teeth being electrode together more times than I can count. I've watched a million videos of people ripping that movie to fucking. I think CinemaSins like crucified that fucking movie.
Crucified.
And all of a sudden,
like they literally, it was a public lynching. It was a public lynching of that movie.
From white, black, and brown people alike, it was insane. Everybody hated that shit. Now all of a sudden, they weren't that bad. Let's give Andrew another movie. I'm like, why? Why are we doing that?
Look, no. And I'm going to tell you what pisses me off about that. Too, is the fact that, like, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to make it hot for anybody because I'm friends with a lot of these people. But I have actually spoken to other content creators who are far larger than myself. And literally, if you know which ones I'm talking about, you'll probably know what video to look for. If you can find it, God bless you. But I'm not going to advertise it. I just want to say, because I don't want to make it hot. But I will say, I have literally gone on record on someone else's channel about, talking about who my favorite Spider-Man was. Like, we're like, oh, who, because it was literally right before No Way Home came out. They're like, oh, who's your favorite Spider-Man? And who's your favorite Peter Parker? And I was like, I think that Tobey Maguire is my favorite, Peter Parker.
Right.
And they're like, oh, who's your favorite Spider-Man? And I said, Andrew Garfield. And they're like, what? Huh? What? He's terrible. He's a terrible Spider-Man. And
that was my immediate reaction just now. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Oh, no. But here's the thing, though. Those same people, after No Way Home, I don't know why everybody was giving him such a hard time. He was a fantastic Spider-Man. I don't know why, like, anyone's not wanting to give him a chance. He should get a chance to finish his story. There should be we should make Amazing Spider-Man 3 trend now because, he was so good. But the thing is, people, and this is why I think, you talked about content creators kind of being part of the problem. I think that's another reason why we're a part of the problem. Is that
narrative we change
a lot of times
so fucking bad.
The take we have, like, I fully cop to this. If anyone goes back and goes like and looks at my original one of my original YouTube attempts, The Realist Lounge, I think I did a review for Man of Steel that I actually really liked that movie when I initially saw it. But if you actually ask me how I feel about that movie today, I fucking hate it. My mind has changed polar opposite on that movie since I initially saw it. And there's countless Deadpool, the first Deadpool movie. Fucking loved the first Deadpool movie. Now, I actually don't even really care for it. I actually don't even enjoy rewatching it. I have completely flipped on that movie. It's not just movies, but I do this for just about everything. Like, over time, my opinion on something is going to change. And the thing is, content creators will do that shit, but and that's fine if your mind changes. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind. But they will try to pretend that whatever they feel about the thing now is how they've always felt. And that is the disingenuous part.
Evidence is on the internet.
Yes.
That's what I.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there'll be the people who will shit on something and then later on complain that they don't get any more of the thing that they shit on. And they'll be like, I don't know why. Like, okay, you were talking about Star Wars. I'm going to give you a prime example. There's a guy named Jeremy who has a channel called Geeks and Gamers. Someone actually did an expose on him because he's actually one of the bigger channels that constantly rails on anything considered woke.
Right.
If you actually go back to before his channel rose to prominence, he fucking loved The Last Jedi. Loved it. Full-throated endorsement of the movie. He loved it. He thought it was greatest. He thought it was one of the greatest Star Wars movies ever made. Someone actually, before he scrubbed the internet of it, someone found video evidence of him talking about how much he loved the movie and that the fans need to just calm down. Like the same shit people are saying to him now. And he was out there. He was like, yeah, no, man, I thought it was great. It was doing something new, trying to be different. And even the other sequel movies, he's like, oh, man, they're just trying to be different. They're just trying to do something new, man. Stop giving us the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And now he's one of the main ones. And it's because of the fucking grift. He quickly found out he can make way more money if he talks shit about Star Wars as opposed to being nice about it.
And that's something I think I'm realizing a lot more. One creator, I don't enjoy. I will say this about, because I said it in my video. I did it in my Acolyte review, where I was disappointed because I wasn't aware that Buddy was grifting the way he does. I think he's grifting, but he isn't going full grift. He's being very like, and fuck it, I'll say the name of this point. I don't care. Like, his channels, whatever I say here is not going to affect his fucking channel at this point. He has like international super fans at this point. Star Wars.
Ooh, I wonder if I know who it is.
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, fuck that dude.
Yeah. I have always been the biggest Star Wars series fan. I think I almost watched this shit as much as I watched your shit when I was growing up. I watched the fuck out of y'all.
Oh, damn. Damn.
I was a huge Star Wars series fan. I would always like go back to his channel. I would say take a break. I'd see him like posting shit about like this random theory or thought on this one novelization of the story or one comic, or he'd have his own fan stories. I'm like, oh, this is creative. It's fire. He's been doing this thing that I've noticed lately to where he's not going full grift and outright saying certain stuff, but he's allowing his groups and his fan base to like cultivate and say nasty shit, and he'll just like ha or like not say shit or like little smart quips. Like, he's not fully endorsing it, but he is. But then also
he won't say it on his channel.
Like, oh yeah. You don't want to do that. You don't want full work.
No, he won't say it on his channel, but he'll say that shit on Twitter.
Oh yeah, he'll say it on Twitter.
Oh yeah, he'll like all the shit that he like, because this is what he does. He doesn't say the thing. He dog whistles on YouTube. He dog whistles the thing he wants to say on YouTube, but then he'll go on Twitter, Reddit, or whatever other site, and he will be full mask off fucking wingnut, which is just insane to me. It's insane to me. It's insane. I don't understand.
I don't understand how the things that I've seen him positively endorse, Jedi Survivor, the stuff thing that's a white male led game, but now we're getting into Star Wars.
And even that is kind of woke. Even that's kind of woke. It's like
great game. I'm not saying he was wrong. It's a great game, but it's funny how he endorses that.
It's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But that's my thing, though. It surprises me that he likes it. It surprises me he likes it because, to me, Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order, to me, they're not even that much different than the other stuff that comes out that he hates. The only thing that's different is that there's a white dude. Like, that's the one thing. There's a white dude at the center. But here's the thing. Kyle Kestis isn't even like an alpha male style character. He's kind of a, like, I mean, he's a hard beta. He's a hard beta, hell, honestly, the more I go back and think about it, I don't want, I don't want to mess up Jedi Survivor for nobody, but just based on things that happened in that game, I'm like, man, dude, you kind of got hoed. Like, you got hoed straight to your face. Like you let Cat Daddy hoe the fuck out of you in this game, and that's kind of wild to me. Like, that's kind of wild to me. Like, it actually made me reevaluate, because I was like, man, dude, Cal Kestis, that's my dude. That's my dude. But after Jedi Survivor, I was like, I don't know about you, dude, man. You two, you seem like type of dude that, like, you would loan somebody $5, and then, like, they'd never pay you back.
You would never check.
But then they keep coming back, ask for $5, and you just keep giving. That's the energy I get from Kyle Kestis now. I'm like, you ain't no G. You ain't no G. Nah. You like a yeah, you a M. You a M. You like further down the alphabet. You further down the alphabet. You ain't no G.
Like, dude does that shit, and that really rubbed me the like. One other dude, I'm just gonna say I'm like, fuck this guy, because I watched his video where he was like reviewing the finale of it, and the dude's name is the Critical Drinker.
Oh yeah, fuck that dude.
It's like 2 point something mil. Because I had never heard of him before until one of my colleagues, the anime academic, sent me like his video, because we were talking about like the right wing grips, and he was like, "You think that's bad? Watch this." I watched the first.
Oh yeah, no, Critical Drinker's far worse.
The first 3 minutes. He starts off by one, not addressing the characters by their names or the actors, like, oh, the strong black woman or the strong black protagonist or antagonist. I'm like, that's pretty fucked up. But you know what? It's a running bit for your channel. I can maybe understand that. I'll leave it at that. When he gets to the point where they're talking about Soul, and he's literally making fun of the man having an Asian accent, I'm like, so you're telling me you're calling this a disgrace to Lucas and stuff, and you're mad because they have an Asian man have an Asian accent with his Asian skin, but when they literally had aliens using Asian accents and Jamaican accents in the most racist way, you didn't comment on that.
It's okay though. It's okay though, because they're not real. Here's the thing I'm gonna tell you, man. Here's the thing. This is what I think is funny about that comment, because the actor who played Soul, yeah, who some people may or may not recognize from Squid Game. He was the main character of Squid Game.
That was like the main selling he got announced. It's like, oh my god, dude from Squid Game.
Yeah. And here's the thing about this. And this is something a lot of people don't know about him. He does not speak English.
I didn't know. Bro, when he got into this movie, I'm like, he speaks English?
Yeah. So here's the thing. He learned English specifically for this TV show.
That's insane.
He did not speak English a day before The Acolyte.
You know what's crazy?
So if he talks a certain way, it's probably because that's how he fucking talks.
That was
like, it wasn't acting. That was just him.
That's what was crazy about Squid Game in general.
Yeah.
When that came out, I was still in college in the deep south of Georgia. And the most, but I know what confirmed racists, but they're just cool with me. The most honky-tonk confirmed racist that I knew, when we talk, like when I would like ask them, like, hey, what are you doing out there? I'm gonna watch Squid Game. They're watching the show, but they're watching it in Korean subtitles. They're not watching the dub.
Oh, wow.
They're watching it sub. So you have like, super conservative people watch something not in English, but you're acting exactly where they're eating that shit up. They're loving it, and they're not watching this shit in English. It's just insane to me. So for you to like,
you know what it is?
For him to learn learn English and then go into this, I'm like, bro, you got it, bro. You got it, bro. Like, that's fucking amazing to do. Like, to fucking learn a whole language for a project is commitment. It's fucking commitment.
Oh yeah. Also, I think I know why they like that show. I think I know why. Because it's probably the same reason that I like shows like Succession. Like, my wife always jokes with me about this because she knows how I am. But whenever I see a show that's full of a bunch of white people and they're all being terrible to each other, top tier programming. Yeah. Top tier programming. That is like if you want me. Oh yeah, no. If you say, hey man, hey Ernie, check this out. This is new show out, man. You need to watch it. Man, I don't know, man. I got a lot going on. I don't really got time for a new show. No. Hear me out. Is a show. It is a bunch of white folks, and they are all being terrible to each other. Like, I'm talking about like full on disgustingly terrible to each other. What's it called? so I can look it up. That's gonna be me. That's how you get me in on the show. Like most of the shows I love, it's like when someone told me, "Hey man, you want to watch Yellowstone?" I'd be like, "Nah, I ain't really into that." It's like, "Nah, it's white people being terrible to each other." Word.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, "That's crazy, man. What's it on?" I'm like, "What's it on?" so that's probably what it was. They're like, "Oh, see, look at it. Look like that. That's probably what it was. That's probably what it was."
It irked my nerves because when I look at how like I picture something, I'm looking at like cinematography, acting, choreography, music, sound design, the things that make a show. If there's any politics around it, maybe I'll discuss it if it's relevant. But if it's racist, I'm not gonna bring it up because it's not relevant to the quality of this thing.
No,
that being the forefront of the stuff, like they're making thumbnails with the director or I think she's the she's not the director. I think she's like the creator, like
the showrunner.
Yeah. Granted, the thing I will say fuck her for, because I originally learned that this show was supposed to be, it was originally pitched as an Asajj Ventress series, and she was like, I ain't really feeling that. And they came back and pitched a twin idea, and because she had a twin sister, she was down for it. I don't know how accurate that is, because granted, I did hear that from the actual fucking right-wing grifter, so that could be completely.
I was about to say,
no, that could be completely.
I feel like it's probably not true. You know, I'm gonna go and say it's probably not true. I mean, it might be. If it is, I mean, then yeah, it is what it is. But a lot of the times they usually say stuff that's not true. Like they make up shit. Like they're the reason why. Like they're the type of people that if you were like in high school with them, they would be the people to tell you, man, did you hear Marilyn Manson removed his lower rib so he could fillet himself? That's the type of people you're dealing with. That's the type of people you're dealing with. Like yeah, man, did you hear? Walt Disney's head is frozen in a jar underneath the Magic Kingdom. These are the type of people you're talking to here. But no, it's hilarious to me though, because yeah, you're not talking about the you know the political aspect of it. Yeah, you're talking about the actual. You're talking about a thing based on its own merits, and that's why I actually find people like what's that motherfucker's name? Tyrone Magnus. That's why I make fun of him so much, because like
nigga be cooning, boy. He be tap dancing.
Oh
my god,
man, look, he
that is tap.
Bro, let me. Look, he be like, here, I got this little. This little shuffle up the buffalo. There you go. Here you go. I wish my feet sure could move faster on him, boss. Ooh,
oh my god.
little soft shoe on him. But no, like I remember, like I was actually, because what was it? He was doing some videos. He was doing weekly reviews for X-Men 97, and I got really curious about what he had to say about him. But it was really funny because he kept talking about how the show wasn't woke, or he'd be like, "Oh, is this a little woke?" He's like, "It's a little woke, but he's like, but I really enjoy this because you know, they're really just not trying to be too heavy-handed with the message." I was like, dude, this message, the message of X-Men 97 is like this, like the hand. I'm like,
When people.
Damn! I get it.
It was gay. People assume Wolverine is a heterosexual male this entire time. Oh my god, they're pushing this woke agenda with morphs liking him and that. And I'm like, I do know this man is like pansexual, right? He fucks anything that moves. This thing will fuck anything that moves.
And this is the argument I kept telling people. I was like, dude, okay, here's the thing. If you are a person, I don't care what you think your sexuality is or you feel your sexuality is today in the really real world, but if you were in this type of a universe where where you had the ability to be anything or anyone you wanted to be, whether it was male, female, whatever, you wouldn't care. Like, you would probably, like, if you, from the day you were born, were able to turn, say you were born a boy, if you had the ability to turn into a girl just whenever you wanted, and then back again, or into anything else, you wouldn't care about gender. You would probably not care who you slept with either. Like, yeah, there's probably the off chance you might, like, kind of have a hard line, but I imagine, yeah, if you live your life for as long as, like, someone like a Morph or Mystique does, you probably wouldn't really care. Like, you wouldn't have you might have an identity, but, like, yeah, it's just Tuesday. It's just Tuesday.
Wolverine, where it's like he's literally a fucking feral animal who has seen the worst possible shit. He's been all over the fucking world, and it's been around for hundreds of years, like 200 fucking years.
Yeah,
bro, he's going to hit everything at some point.
Oh yeah, dude. Look, there's no way. There's like, 'cause I even told people, I was like, look, man, I am as straight as they come. I am like literally the most bog standard cis het male, straight, all that stuff. But if I had Morph's powers, I'm not gonna lie, man, anybody could probably get it. Anybody could probably get it, because I just wouldn't
bad bitch whenever I wanted to be.
Right? Like,
I could look like
let me go ahead.
like fucking dancing Idris on Tuesday, nigga. Like,
right?
And then you're all on top of that to where it's like, because what's funny, because you see like all this shit with like these business tycoons that are billionaires and they're into this most deviant and deviant sexual shit because they've done it all. They've had the money to have all the regular sex possible.
You want new. You want something different. That's just no different. It's no different. I promise you. I promise you.
Thing I'll put on too, because this is another thing that really this really showcased how strong that the agenda pushing of the right wing stuff was with the King Crusader show. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
But literally when I was getting ready to because I was kind of looking at thumbnails and like tags and stuff for when I was getting ready to make my review on it for this channel. I just put in the name, the King Crusader. Worst thing ever, too woke, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you literally got the best possible fucking scenario for a sequel or a continuation or even a revisiting of the animated series possible, outside of having Kevin Conroy rise from the grave himself to play this character. You had Bruce Timm, one of the original writers and creators of the original thing. Like, his vision is the vision that you absolutely fucking adored. And he got this and did whatever the fuck he wanted to do with it, obviously. But because Commissioner Gordon is a black man now, Barbara Gordon is a character that matters, and she's black? Ew. What the fuck? The Penguin is a woman? Oh my God. I'm losing my shit. The show is great to me. I enjoyed the show. There's some things that could have been tweaked here and there from a show perspective. Yeah. But for those to be the things that you're critiquing, like it literally feels like the most Bruce Timm shit possible. Like, bro, we're getting a show in the 60s.
And that's the thing. I think, like I said, I think that's like my least favorite thing about the way people move in those circles is that, like, they do a lot of jumping between, like, they do a lot of moving of the goalposts, because they'll sit here and tell you, no, Batman the Animated Series is the greatest thing that was ever made in the history of ever. But then when it's time to watch the next thing by the same person, nope, it's woke trash, and this person doesn't know anything about Batman, and they don't get it, and they should never say.
That's his fucking.
That is like, dude. That is like, dude. I'm not gonna lie. That's like looking George R.R. Martin in his face, telling him he don't know shit about Game of Thrones. It's like, and that's the thing I can't stand about like this, because when we talk about content creators being the problem, I think that fans are also part of the problem, just as bad, because there are people out there who think, oh yeah, well, they look at a thing like, we'll use Batman as an example. They believe, because since they have been reading Batman comics since they were a little baby, that they think that now this means they know the character better than the person who created it or has written it for a long time. And I'm here to tell you right now, I've seen it happen. I've been adjacent to situations like this. I have talked to people who have been in situations like this. And every time, it's always the same. They say the same thing. Interpretation is a motherfucker. Like, yeah, you read a story and you took that story one way, but at the end of the day, the only person who really knows the truth about what was really going on with that story is the person who actually wrote it. What they were thinking about, what they're like. I mean, yeah, you can make the argument for, well, once a collective of the fans have come together and decided that something is so, then it must be so. You can say that, but it's also one of those things too where, like, just because I see something in a story, it doesn't mean that that's exactly what the writer or the creator of the story had to say. Like, I have talked to some writers when I've asked them, like, hey, were you going for this? Or like, hey, I noticed you had this in your story. Like, were you I feel that this was, something that maybe this is what you're going for. And more often than not, the answer I usually get back in response is, I actually never thought about it that way. But the fact that you found that in there tells me that even though I didn't do this intentionally, that the way I did it was okay. That it was that
Right.
that it wasn't a bad idea to do it this way. That's like 99.9% of the time. I don't care whether whether I've spoken with Chris Claremont, I've talked to Dottie Cates, I have talked to Dennis Cowan and Reggie Hudlin. I've talked to a lot of writers in my day. They all say the same thing every time.
And that's where
So
as I've been pursuing this YouTube content creation journey the past couple months, I've been blessed to see all the Power Ranger video I put out. Like, I get a lot of love. It makes my heart smile to see that people enjoy this thing I put time and effort into. But then I go watch some other creators where I feel like it's either one of a couple things that I've noticed. Either one, they're falling off and they're like grasping for straws. So we're gonna grift into this so I can get this bread up. Two, they're trying to grow and they're not getting attention because they're not putting in the effort to be creative or just putting in the effort in general. So, I'll take the easy route, like this grift to get this attention off. Or three, they genuinely believe that and they're just misinformed in a lot of occasions and it is talk outside of their neck on things that they've heard regurgitated somewhere else. And the thing that scares me is a perspective I have that is uniquely mine, people taking that perspective and going out and using that to spread hatred or vitriol somewhere else. I knew I fucked up on Twitter recently. I was a creator I follow. I follow a couple bad IG. My Twitter at this point is nothing but like fine black streamers or like they're creators. It's not just, I'm not following this.
That was my IG. That's why I can't be on Instagram. I had to get rid of that.
But one of them I fuck with, one by the name of Persephone. She is like, fine as hell. I don't know if you've seen any Big Jaw skits on YouTube at all. But she's.
Oh yeah. I'm familiar.
Yeah. She asked the question. She was like, how do you know a woman is broke? And me at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and me having the experiences I've been dating in Atlanta, I'm like, the first thing I hear the most is when you ask women what she looks for in a man, and the first thing she says is, a provider. And I'm like, it's not gonna be that deep. I just tweeted that thing, and I started hearing the alerts go off like lights, bing, 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 bing. Dudes retweeting it. And I was like, okay, people just had the same experience I've had, cool. And then I see a dude like, yeah, and that's why they end up being 45 with 3 kids. I'm like, okay, hold on, chill out, relax.
Well, hold on.
Relax. I'm like, well, you dragging it.
Wait,
I'm not dragging it, bro.
Wait, where's my whistle? Flag on the play.
Nigga, do not use my unique perspective and use that as a way to make generalizations about all women now. Let's not do that.
Oh no, they did it. They did it.
I felt so bad because I'm like, bro, some woman's gonna see that shit and think I'm the most like misogynistic motherfucker on the planet. And I'm like, damn. I'm not going to delete it because I'm just like, I gotta stand on it. And if I get pressed on it, I'll explain it. But it's shit like that to where I'm scared like I'll have a unique perspective on like for me, outside of that, one of my bigger nerd, I don't even think it's a hot take because I think a lot of people didn't like this, but with the Bane thing from The Dark Knight. I absolutely despise Tom Hardy Bane. I can't stand it with the fucking passion.
I'm not a fan either.
Because I've read Bane and
not a fan
of the animated series and stuff. And one of the few things that make that character unique to me and make him special is one being Mexican and being a luchador. Let's send that out the way. Like when a character's nationality and ethnic origin is a part of their origin story, you should probably keep that the same thing. Like the fact that this nigga is
100%
Mexican in prison and is wearing a fucking luchador mask, we should probably keep that the same way. Now, granted, you don't have to put him in a Rey Mysterio mask in the movie, but you should at least make him Mexican. Yeah. That'd be nice to do.
It should be close. It should be close.
He be Spanish for all I care. But like Middle East, or I can't even say Middle Eastern because Buddy's accent, I don't know what the fuck kind of accent they had Tom Hardy doing for that movie.
He sounded like every impersonation I've heard people use to try and be Albert Einstein. That's what he sounded like to me.
Literally.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing with that character, and the biggest issue I had with that, is that he was a patsy the entire movie. The thing that makes Bane interesting to me is the level of intelligence and self-drive independence he has. And that movie, that character is literally driven for a codependency on Talia al Ghul and wanting to smash and beat chicks. And the jealousy that, girls got to beat the chicks, why can't I beat the chicks? And the fact that he does like, bro, a stab. And I'm just like, bro, this is the dude that when he first appeared, broke Batman's back. And it took months for this man to come back.
Talking shit.
And talking shit the whole time. So now you're doing that.
Let's not stand on ceremony here.
Bro. Granted, only thing I would take that for is because we got that Bane in the Harley Quinn show. Because I fucking love that version.
That Bane is funny. Like, that's the only time you do it. That's the only time you do it. Because, like, it's at least not being taken seriously.
Biggest approval I got was my first interview I ever did. I did an interview with Graham Nolan, the creator of Bane. Okay. And I got to ask him, I was like, hey man, what did you think of Bane? And in my head, I'm like, maybe. I'm hoping he says he hates the shit. But I'm like, maybe he likes it, and I'll just have to be sad and just keep to myself. He was like, yeah, I don't really like that stuff. I didn't like that one. I didn't like the Batman Returns Bane. And for the same reason that I brought up, I got the most validation in the world. But the thing that scares me is that when with a video like that, where I get to rant on something I don't like, now everybody takes my opinion and makes it their opinion. People, the biggest flaw that I think consumers have today is they don't know how to interpret the product that they're ingesting. Like consumer literacy is at an all-time fucking low.
No, it's all-time low. It's in the gutter. It's in the gutter. People don't know how to have opinions for themselves. Like I encountered this not too terribly long ago when I asked somebody, because somehow we got on the topic of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and they were talking about how much they didn't like it. And I was like, well, what didn't you like about it? And then like their actual response, man, one of my homies saw it. He said he didn't like it, so I was like, wait, you said you didn't like it though. He's like, yeah. He's like, no, he told me he didn't like it, so I'm pretty sure I won't like it. And I was like, you don't know that, though. I was like, you don't know that you don't like it. You just know that someone you're close to doesn't like it. That doesn't necessarily mean that I said, so are you just going with the opinion of somebody else instead of, like, trying to have an informed opinion of your own? And it's just, I was like, because if you're going to hate some shit, hate it because you don't like it. Don't hate it because someone told you should hate it. Because I said, then that just makes you a sheep.
I had a comment. I had a comment on that video, which I already knew that video was gonna get hella disliked for the way I approached it. It's like literally like half of it is likes and the other half is dislikes of that video, which I already knew what it was. What that was. One of the comments was, bro, the fucking all the new Star Wars shit is trash. You could pay me to watch any of that shit. So I'm like, I asked him like, so you made a opinion on a bunch of things you didn't watch, and they're trash. Interesting. I like Willie damn near verbatim what I said. I get a reply back. Oh, I watched a little bit of it, but this shit was all trash. I'm like, oh, so you went from you couldn't pay you to watch it to now you watched it. Interesting.
You watched it for free.
Right. People don't be watching shit. People don't be watching.
They really don't. They just want to be mad.
There's an article that came out not too long ago for the gaming stuff where it was talking about how like it was looking at the numbers of like what games were being played the most, and it said 60% of gamers play games that are 6 years and older. Like, people aren't playing games for real. Like, they're playing Fortnite games from 6 years ago. But everybody has a fucking informed opinion and they're experts on it. Oh, nigga, this is one of the reasons.
On every game.
With the comic creators, whenever a fucking new movie or new storyline comes out in the MCU or anything comic related, that's a alternative story that nobody knew about, all of a sudden everybody knew that shit existed. When it already did, when everybody was aware of the Doom story, infamous Iron Man. I'm like,
Iron Man.
I just didn't know. I just didn't know.
Everybody. Well, no, that's the thing. I even made a joke with it. I said, now that Robert Downey Jr. has come out as Iron Man, you're about to see a lot of posts talking about, hey, did you know about this one storyline called Infamous Iron Man? That you're like everybody's trying, like, X-Men 97, when the villain was revealed to be Bastion, suddenly all of these fucking Bastion experts showed up out of nowhere. Wasn't nobody checking for Bastion. And I was like, Bastion was one of those types of villains, you had to be there. Like, you had to be there to, like the only people I know who gave a fuck about Bastion were people who were actively reading comics in, like, the mid-90s. Nobody cared about Bastion after that. And I find it so hilarious. Like what was it? When there was an episode where there was a reference to Machine Man in X-97, and everybody's like, oh, see, look, there's a Sentinel in his toy box. And I made the comment that it was Machine Man. A whole bunch of people started taking my shit and started being like, oh, yeah, man, you see, y'all don't know about Machine Man. Da, da, da. I was like, you don't know either. You just found out 5 minutes ago. Stop. Like, everybody, it so pisses me off.
Well, you at that school, and then, like, a slow jam comes on. What you know about that, nephew? Like, you ain't never heard.
Yeah, you don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Okay, bro. That shit hurts.
Oh, yeah, y'all ain't got this.
I can admit, the thing with me, if I don't get information from myself, or I didn't research myself, I will tell you where I got information from. It doesn't make you any less credible.
Yeah.
And admit, I got it from this person. If that person is not credible,
right,
you have to go back to the drawing board of where to get information from. But that's the shit. Everybody has to know everything. And I'm just like, damn, bro. Like,
it's okay to say you don't.
That's for the fucking Power Rangers video. You know, I didn't even know Super Sentai existed in Power Rangers until I put this video out. The amount of comment, well, did you know that all this is just based off the Super Sentai design? I'm like, I wasn't aware, but thank you for making it my attention. I'll make cover to make a video about it at some point. I don't fucking know.
Oh, no. I tell people all the time, because, like, what was it? I used to have a joke. I used to always tell people about Power Rangers. And I like, you know how, like, in the anime community, you have the subs versus dub debate?
Yeah.
Power Rangers has the same thing, but for like, but there's purists who are like, no, it's Super Sentai or bust, or like, no, it's Power Rangers or bust. Like, it's basically subs versus dubs. But the thing I always found funny about that is that there was this meme I found a long time ago, and dude, it lives rent free in my head because. Well, I personally, I don't have that same mentality of, oh, you fuck Power Rangers. It's Super Sentai for me. But I do find it funny sometimes when I see people post this meme where they say it has a picture of Tommy. And on the other side, it has a picture of the actual Green Ranger from Super Sentai. And it says, one of these guys soloed the Power Rangers. It says soloed the Rangers. You turned on the villain, wound up fighting their best friend and brother, for the fate of the world, turned over a new leaf and moved on to become one of the greatest Rangers of all time. And the other guy is Tommy. And I would just laugh. Because it's not untrue. But the thing is, it's like, when you compare Super Sentai to Power Rangers, they are the same and they are similar, but the way they play out is completely different. So I don't even look at, like, okay, so Mighty Morphin versus Z Ranger. I don't even look at those two shows as the same, because the villain's not even the same. Rita Repulsa's goofy villain. Evil Witch Bandora is a fucking Satanist who kills children. Not the same villain.
I have not read Super Sentai.
It is on Tubi. All of the old, pretty much every single... It's live action. Like, okay, all those scenes you see of Tommy when he's not in costume, like when the original Green Ranger saga, when you saw Tommy do the little... and make the fireball and throw that bitch and jump in the Megazord and throw everybody out of it, that wasn't even Jason David Frank in the suit. That was actual footage from the original show. Anytime you saw the Power Rangers in the costumes, that wasn't any of them in it, unless the costumes look bad because they would shoot new scenes sometimes. But a lot of the time when you saw them, they were jumping into the Megazords or out of the Megazords or doing their roll calls and stuff like that, fighting the putties. 99.9% of the time, they were just using stock footage from the original show. But every show, because hell, most people know this, when Tommy was the White Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
The White Ranger was from a completely different show than the other Rangers. That's why he didn't hang around very long, is because he was from Die Ranger, and he was a little kid. The White Ranger in Die Ranger is a little boy that's like 10 or 11 years old. That's why he was always jumping up and down, going, yippee, yippee, like, and doing weird stuff whenever he did something cool. But, like, if you ever get a chance, go on Tubi, look up Super Sentai. You will probably find anywhere from 12 to 15 different seasons, all of which, with the exception of Die Ranger, all of them were used for one Ranger season or another. But I actually do recommend, like, they're old. Like, they're good and old. But, so they're a little dated. But, Goldar, or what technically his name's Grifforzer, but, like, in the original show, in Zyuranger, that dude didn't talk. He didn't talk, like, at all. He hardly, like, all the, I gotta get those Rangers. He didn't say, he didn't speak for, like, I think 30 episodes. Like, he actually could not speak. He physically could not speak.
Fucking opinionate. I in the video, because I went back. The thing that the reason these fucking Power Ranger videos are taking so long for me to get out is because I'm actually going back and rewatching these series in their entirety. And for the first Ninja Storm,
it's a lot to watch.
It's just like for the Disney. That's the one thing I love about the Disney era. Each season is only 38 episodes. Like the entire season is 38 compared to each one. I had to go back.
You know why that is?
Oh, because when Disney took over, they were fucking like, all right, how do we make this shit cheap and we can get this shit out?
Well, true, but also, like, normally Super Sentai seasons, they're like 50 episodes each, usually.
Interesting.
That's why they're always so long. That's why they're always so long. If you watch a season of Super Sentai can be anywhere from 45 to 50 episodes.
That's interesting.
And then there's movies for each season.
Do they have crossovers too?
Yeah.
In Super Sentai? Oh,
actually, it is customary. It is customary between seasons for the next Sentai squad to have a movie crossover with the previous one. Sometimes they even have crossovers with seasons of Rangers that were years ago.
That's bullshit. I'm making a video on that. I'm going through all the Disney era. There's like fucking 7 seasons for me to fucking cover. But when I went back to watch the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, bro, this shit was not good. Like before Tommy got
it's not
there,
good.
That shit was so bun.
It was bad.
And once he got there,
it was
like,
sheets.
We gonna milk this shit. We gonna milk Tommy to fucking death. It was Tommy Oliver's show. And that shit, it was just him. Like nobody else mattered but Tommy Oliver. So when I get into the Disney era,
nobody cared about Jason.
But I got there watching SPD. I just finished. I finished SPD. I sent that off to my editor, and I'm hopefully getting that back soon. They were talking about like at some point like classism, economic issues, war crime veterans. Everybody had their own story arc and growth development. And I look back at Mighty Morphin, and y'all like this is the peak for y'all. This is it. Oh, we not.
That's it.
That Disney shit. That Disney shit was trash. I'm like, y'all not watching it. You never watched it. You didn't watch it.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, I remember when SPD came out and I was telling folks, I was like, dude, man, this SPD's kind of lit. And it was like, oh, man, it's booty, man, it's cheeks. And here's the thing. I knew SPD was going to be good because the show it was based on was good, and that was Deca Ranger. Deca Ranger was even more different because it was actually more of a police procedural. But like, folks,
the main issue I had with the show when I was going back to watch it, because I'm thinking about how it how it holds up now with the police situation we have now being more prevalent. They have episodes where they address like police brutality and corrupt police officers, and I'm like, well, shit. Like they were putting this much effort into writing a fucking for a character named Doggy or for a character named Anubis Kruger,
Doggy Kruger,
big ass fucking dog, and they gave him like the most dark fucking backstory. Power Rangers in the Disney was dark as shit. There was like genocide, like murder on and off screen, drugs. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, Oh no, that new stuff it ain't as good. But that's the thing. I challenge anyone, go look at some of those seasons after Power Rangers, because I think they're way too fond of Mighty Morphin. Don't get me wrong, there are aspects of Mighty Morphin I think are really cool, but by and large, I think a lot of the later seasons were so much better, like so much better. Like it's down to the villains, down to the actual characterization of the Rangers themselves. It just, I'm sorry, there's almost no real actual comparison. Like Tommy literally carried the Mighty Morphin era. It's not even close. Nobody was checking for Jason. Nobody was checking for Jason after Tommy showed up. Never.
Once he got there and kicked Jason's ass and then got the women, I'm like, bro, like he took, for lack of a better term, he took your bitch and kicked your ass. It's crazy. Yeah. Like, I don't know what, like,
yeah,
you're done. You're out of here. They never get the Black Ranger.
And made you his best friend.
Literally. Zach never had a chance. They just like, nigga, your hairline is in oblivion and we're not going to do shit with you.
They said, nah, pimp. You got to go.
Bad. I went to BlerdCon, bro, and he was there. We'll talk off screen. We'll get into this at a different point, maybe, about the Phil Lamar shit. I have some stories about Phil Lamar that hurt my soul, that things played out the way. But I guess to wrap everything up with a bow, because we've been on for like an hour. I don't want to hold you all day. I don't know if you got shit to do. Because I'll literally just go all day on a different tangent. But to put everything on a bow, I think the crux of the issues that were, at least for me, that I'm having, is that people will watch something in their era and force that experience to how things should be going forward. Whether it be with Spider-Man and not Miles Morales initially, whether that be with fucking Star Wars people. Like, if it is not how it was when I originally saw it, and it doesn't hold those same elements and sentiments and priorities, then I don't want it to exist, or I think it's bad, because it's not what I want it to be for me and feed into my nostalgia. People don't like new shit. People don't want to give new shit a chance.
No.
And when they eventually do give new shit a chance and it pops off, like Invincible, for example, now, like, that's one of the very few occasions where I'm like, that shit was fucking like a fucking perfect timing for you to get this show about this random, I'd say random because I don't want to make it seem like it's lesser than, but for lack of a better term, this random comic book series about this random hero that had nothing to do with DC or Marvel or Image or Dark Horse, and people loved it. Like, hey, bro, look what happens when you give new shit a chance. You can get some shit that they can do for fucking 15 seasons now.
Oh no, I tell people all the time. One of the things I always like to use as an example is the movie Dread. People didn't want to go see it because they thought it was just going to be that was the second one. This was the Carl Urban one. This was the second one they made. Yeah, but people didn't want to go see it in the theater because they're like, oh, it's probably gonna be some cheeks, just like the Stallone joint, and they thought, oh, it was gonna be stupid, so no one wanted to go see it. So the movie goes out of theaters, bombs at the box office, is written off as a critical and commercial failure as a result. And fast forward like 5 or 6 years later, after the DVD has already been out for a while, the Blu-ray's out, people have actually, it's on like demand, so more people have access to be able to go see it. And then there's all these people talking about man, why didn't they should have made another one of these, man, why didn't they make, it's because you didn't support it then. Like, I think we kind of live this era where people think that they can get away with just waiting for something to come to video. And the thing is, studios don't think about that. They want to see immediate return on investment. Otherwise, you do not get sequel. People, like you said, no one wants to try anything new. They want to wait till the new shit is old shit. Then they want to invest. And it's usually because it's at a moment where they don't have to put any money.
It's either that or they wait for their content creator they watch to give them the green light. Oh, well, he says it's cool, so I'll go give it a chance. I'll check it out. Because they don't say anything.
Instead of just thinking for themselves.
If Bloodhunt came out and you were from the very jump like, oh, this shit is fucking candy. I'm not reading this shit no more. That niggas would not read that shit. Your audience would not read that shit.
Oh, no, I know. Like, I know for a fact. I
read that shit.
And
that's why I'm just nope. And I know that because I was the niggas. It's me. I'm niggas. I am a fan at heart I just happened to put in work to get here, but at my heart, I'm a fan. When I talk to creators like you or whatever else, I'm like, oh nigga, I'm just a fan that gets to talk to my fucking favorite creator. Nigga, I'm just a fan. So when I talk about this shit, I'm like, I know what I did the same shit. I did not check for certain stories.
Oh yeah,
about certain shit. And it's me. I'm niggas.
It's who we are though. It's who we like. And the thing is, because I'll even say the same thing. Like, yeah, a lot of the time, like if I see someone talking like positively about something, I'm gonna get curious. I'm like, oh, let me see what they're talking about over here. Ooh, I kind of passed this up before. Let me see what this is all about. I've done it before because I don't do it so much with comics or TV shows, but I do it with horror movies. Like if one of my favorite content creators is like, hey, you know, this so and so horror movie, yada yada yada, whoop de woo, and I'll be like, ooh, I'm gonna go look that up.
See, that's why when you do horror, because I have such a love for the genre, I will literally go watch any random horror movie I see in the theater. I have a subscription to like my local theater. And if I don't have shit to do and this movie's coming out, I'm gonna watch the shit. Because it could be good. It could not be good. And if it's good, I'm gonna do my due diligence as a creator to fucking prop it up to get people to go see it. Like Long Legs, when Long Legs came out, I think I would have made a video for that shit like the next day. It was like I was up to like 3 o'clock in the morning recording that review for that shit, and then I had to re-record it twice because I was shooting my audio and recording. But I was determined to be like, I want this thing to succeed and get a sequel or get more things like this. I need to support this thing. But I'll say this here for the last times. I've said it in all my review, or I think in like half the reviews I did for Bloodhunt. Because obviously, allegedly, I may or may not have a site where I get to read my comic books digitally. That's not the Marvel app. Allegedly. But I say this in the video because I mostly use that for the creation of the video, so I can like download actual high quality resolution scans for it. But what I tell you is that I never read a comic book digitally that I haven't bought in the physical, and I have 15,000 fucking books in this crate as proof. Because if I like from the jump, I initially enjoyed Bloodhunt from the start. So cool, let me start buying more of these books physically. Because if they see, Brielle, stories with Brielle and Blade are doing well, maybe people want to see more of them. And we won't have scenarios like Static Shock being canceled halfway fucking through.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Why don't we ever get any more Static stuff? Because y'all niggas didn't read the comic book.
Y'all didn't buy it. You didn't buy it.
Talk about it. You didn't buy it.
Nope. And the thing is, I was talking about that, but I was always like, I literally every time it came out, I was always talking about it, trying to get people put on game. And here we are. And then the same folks that didn't buy the comic will come to me and be like, man, Blerd, whatever happened to Milestone, man? They ain't make. I wonder why. I wonder why they haven't made anything. I wonder. I don't have any idea. I don't have any idea about that. I don't know what it could have been. I wonder.
Oh, bro. I'm glad I've gotten to rant and get a lot of this shit off my chest for the last hour. I already know this video is going to have very mixed reviews depending on who sees this. Right-wing people may get on this.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at a point now to where I've made enough like shit about representation in my channel where I'll get like some right-wing people to like pop in just to dislike some shit or just to say some nasty shit. I'm like, and I said it in the last video bro, I'm monetized now, baby. You watch this video.
Oh yeah.
You paying me, Shawty?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Please. Trust me.
Watch the whole video to talk shit and engage. You paying me, baby. This shit is sweet now that I'm making money. I encourage all the nasty comments now. I ain't gonna hold you. Pay me, please.
Come back and talk some shit. Come back and keep talking shit. When I reply, you come back and reply, please.
The day I hit them 4,000 watch hours is a happy day. Wow, I was tap dancing around my house, boy. All haters come, please.
Look, you was tap dancing like Tyrone Magnus. He was like, man, look at that.
Give this nigga soft shit.
Right. Look, you hit you with that Gregory Hines, man. Y'all don't know nothing like hey, see what I'm doing here? You see what I'm doing here? Y'all don't know nothing about this.
Jesus Christ. But if y'all don't watch this, for people that enjoy, again, thank you guys for watching this video, especially if you're at the damn near 2-hour mark, because it's just been us ranting and shooting the shits for a minute. The Bloodhunt talk started, it stopped like 30 minutes, and I go, we start fucking after that. Y'all
knew what time it was. Y'all knew.
if you are not subscribed to my man Blerd Without Fear's channel, please do so. My boy, he near plaque territory. He about to get that big silver plaque soon. He's almost at 100. Yeah, with like 99K or like 98, something like that.
98, something like that. It's somewhere in there. 98. Yeah, 98 something.
Buddy,
So, yeah, we trying.
You better get that. I need you to take a picture of that plaque, like the fucking Tupac shit in the bathtub with the chains. Like or just the fucking plaque.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look, y'all gonna be sick of me. Y'all gonna be sick of seeing me in my plaque. I'm gonna act a whole monkey. I'm gonna act a whole monkey. Y'all gonna be sick of me.
Give my guys subscribe, please. This is again. Like I said before, I am a fan at heart. I have been watching Ernie for. Should me to say you old nigga? I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Look, I was
like
I'm
middle school. I was in middle school. Yeah, bro. I was in middle school watching your shit.
Damn. Oh yeah.
So the level of consistency and the genuineness, I really appreciate, and I do think y'all please will give that man a subscription. And then for this channel, again, thank you guys so much for any of the support that I've gotten thus far. It's been a lot of explosive growth this summer. I put in a lot of work to get the channel to the point of where it is, where I had like 1K like last month, and I'm almost at 2K now, something like that. And so I appreciate the support. I appreciate the kind words, and yeah, bro, just appreciate y'all niggas, man. I'm trying to work not to cuss as much of it. That's my one thing. I'm like, damn, if these right wing people come at me and report my shit for like random shit, let me make sure I'm like cleaning it up. I'm not cussing. I'm not saying no wild shit. So
don't give them nothing. Don't give them.
Oh, but no, this is 100% me transparent. Appreciate y'all niggas, man. Do you have anything coming out that you would like for anybody to check out? Any projects, any shows, channels?
Honestly, nothing too terribly major. But I will say I have been doing a lot more interviews as of late, talking to people in the industry, mostly like indie creators. So YouTube doesn't like to spread those videos around because it's not, I guess, the most amazing. Yeah, it's like people. There's no sensationalism involved in them, so it's just me talking to a person having a cool conversation. So yeah, I just say go check out those videos. I've talked to a lot of really good creators, a lot of people out there that are doing some really amazing things, making stuff pop off. So go check those out. I think I not too terribly long ago, not necessarily an interview, but I had like a little email session back and forth with Gail Simone, the current writer of the Uncanny X-Men. Go check that out. Similar with Steve Orlando for the Gotcha Man Galactor series that's out right now, which is really good. Yeah, off to a good start. Only got one issue, but off to a good start so far. And man, just trying to do more and different stuff. So yeah, make sure to tune in for those.
Check that man out, man. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm so happy Bloodhunt is over with now. I'm not gonna say I'm comicked out, but
yeah,
following this shit bi-weekly and buying all those fucking comic books has been fucking stressful. I'm just like 4 more I'm buying.
I believe it.
The one variant covers I want. I bought 1 out of the 3 out of the 4. I need to order the other 2 offline. But I think now, I guess it's just an announcement for the fans. Now that Bloodhunt is over, I think when I get into comics, the next thing I'm going to cover.
Ooh, he got to get up and get it.
We've been sitting back here for fucking years since I got it for my birthday. I can fucking get into this and finally cover this. Wait for my birthday.
Are you gonna
full omnibus for it?
Yeah. There you go.
I know what happens to an extent, but I haven't read it. So like, all right, now I gotta fucking spend my life.
Have you checked out any of the other other IDW stuff?
I haven't. Bro, when I mean Bloodhunt was my reintroduction into like really following a comic series like religiously and everything that did around it. I was so out of the loop. I was like, again, niggas like you, Benny, Rob was what kept me in the loop for stuff that was going on, so I could stay informed on stuff. But as far as reading it religiously, I was not doing so up until Bloodhunt.
If you get a chance, they just relaunched the main Ninja Turtle series at IDW. Jason Aaron's on it right now, and it is like just 1 issue in, but it is already off to a very good start.
out. I'm trying to make sure I'm staying up to date, and I'm trying to do more comic content already in general. My goal is to like pick up, like I'm thinking about doing a series on the Dark Wolverine stuff at some point without like I fell in love with reading that. I'm not gonna lie, I was like binging that up to the point. But I can expect more comic stuff from me. If you have anything in particular that you want me to cover, again, if you just want The Last Ronin and my thoughts on it, let me know. Which I need to start buying more omnibuses because I just love the feel of these things. Hardback.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking great.
Dude, check this out. Oh god, there's so many of them. Oh god, these are three.
Jesus Christ.
Three of the 16 released TMNT hardcovers.
The new stuff or just in general?
This is for the stuff that's been coming out. I also like it because it's got the katana hilt on the spine, and each one is a different color. But this is the first one. Yeah, this is the first one. And dude, it's good. This is 100. It's 150 issues total. I think they got two more hardcovers up in them before they're going to be done. I think it'll end at like 7. I think volume 18 will probably be the last one. But dude, it's good stuff. Very good stuff.
I need to get more editor. I need another editor at this point. That's my bad thing. Is like now I'm having a full-time job, bro. Having an editor is beautiful because I can like just give him I need put together, and he's great. And he's to help my channel take off to another extent. But they're like waiting for him to do one thing, and I was like, damn, I want to cover this thing too and get this done. I wonder if I can throw another 100 at this other guy to edit this shit for me, so I can get 2 videos done. I'm about to. At this point, I'm spending more money on this channel and videos than I am like anything else. This is like my one. This is my bad habit. This is my bad habit. Granted. Now I'm making money off the. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Since now, you look at it as an investment to make more bread. But yeah, I need to go ahead and hit up this other editor because I need to get more stuff done. I need more stuff done. So yeah, y'all can expect more stuff from me. So the biggest thing, the most immediate future y'all can expect from me on the channel. First and foremost, SPD, the neglected Power Ranger series is continuing, and it's going to continue with SPD. I have that in the tank. I've received word I should have that like Sunday at noon. Get that video back, hopefully. And then beyond that, I'm going to be working on the Cape Crusader review for it. The Cape Crusader review for my channel. I'm looking at a lot of content. You're going to see a lot of streaming come this next couple months. There's a lot of dope games coming out that I want to check out. Black Myth Wukong, I think the first one at the end of this month, I want to be streaming and getting together. Obviously the Assassin's Creed stuff, like Assassin's Creed Shadow, has to happen for me. I'm a big
that's happening.
So yeah,
that's happening.
There's a lot of shit I want to do: games, comics, movies, reviews, all that good stuff. Or y'all can expect a lot from me, and I appreciate it. Again, check out my guy Ernie's channel. This has been Captain Diesel. This has been Blerd Without Fear, and
you're now watching the Captain.
And I will see you guys next time. Peace.